I can hear you.
Yeah.
Hey.
I look a mess, but
That's me too. It's okay.
here I am.
Long day, right?
and the lighting is not that great in my apartment. So
Oh, no problem.
trying to do some lighting situation, it just didn't really.
No, it's perfect, actually. It's perfect. I can see you. You can hear me. All things are great. So thanks for sending over your credit report. I was able to go over it. Did you get the analysis in the email?
I did. I just skimmed and read it. And sorry that it actually just occurred to me this morning. I was like, oh my God, I didn't even send it back to you. So please forgive me for that. I didn't get
no worries. All right. So we're going to start there, just so you have an idea that you can understand what really is going on with your credit. Right. So
can I record this? Is that okay?
Actually, I'm recording it as well. And
okay, perfect. So if you're recording, it's fine.
Okay, so I'm going to send you a replay as well. So
yay, thank you.
Yeah. I want you to have everything you need. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it up again. Okay, so I can't minimize the screen. So the very first step that we want to do is make sure that your personal information is correct.
Okay.
So if you can verify for me, what is on your driver's license? What name?
I actually don't have a drive because I don't drive. So I I just got recently a non-driver's ID.
Okay. Do you have a passport?
Yes, a British passport. I'm getting an American one because I just became a citizen a couple of months ago.
Okay. And what name is on there?
So on my passport is Juanita Constantine because it's my British passport. And that's my maiden name. I was married, but I'm not married anymore. And then I still have my when I got my ID, my non-driver's ID, I actually just got just my maiden name because that's what I'm going as. But all my other information, like my credit card, my card still has Robinson on it, which is my married name.
Okay. Constantine is your maiden name.
Yes. Hold on, can you just give me 1 second? I'm just going to turn off my here because I can't really hear you that well. All right.
Okay. So your utilities and your lease and things like that, what name is on there?
So on my lease, it's probably Constantine Robinson. If I need to actually look at that. But yeah, a lot of my bills are in both of my names.
Okay. All right. So that's where it's going to get tricky. Because typically you want your credit report to say one name.
Right.
Right. So any negative information that may be tied to other various aliases or other variations of your name, we remove that to help aid removing the negative items. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So since, you have IDs and cards and lease and all that stuff in both, that wouldn't be smart because now they'll be able to say, okay, well, when you sent in your lease, this is the name that was on there. So how can you remove it when you're verifying this name? So we can't do that. Okay, so that actually is the very first step.
Sorry, what's the first step? What was I doing?
To make sure that your personal information is accurate and just very succinct. Like we want to keep it as simple as possible. So
I am actually thinking about not thinking. I do need to go when I get my passport. I was just going to get Constantine, and I was just going to get my name Robinson taken off.
Okay.
So are you saying not to do that now?
No. Go ahead and continue to do that.
Okay.
But that'll slow down. Like we don't want to just wait for that because then that'll slow down your process. So unless you want to, so you let me know. So if you want to, we can wait. When are you planning on doing that?
I mean, really, because of the time crunch I have, because I'm moving to LA in June, I really can't afford to wait. So if you're saying that it's better for me to just hold off on changing things over, I'll have to wait.
No. You can still change your information. We just won't wait. We won't put it in there. You won't have to do that in your first step.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I am planning to so I'm going to get my passport Within the next 2 weeks, probably.
Okay. So we can
Yeah.
clean that up after. That's fine.
Okay.
All right. So next thing you want to do is make sure that there's only one address. So you have Kennedy Boulevard.
That's where I am now.
Now, okay. So Kennedy is current. Then there's Broadway.
That was my last address.
Okay. There's Graff Avenue.
That was my address with my ex.
Okay. And then Llewellyn Avenue.
That's my aunt's address. So that's when that was like over 10 years ago. So
Okay.
I guess I can
definitely do. Graff is X. And okay, so none of those are and then 56th Street, what's that?
Oh, that was a friend's address that I had to stay in literally for a month. I can't even believe that's on there. Maybe. Yeah, I'm like, oh God, yeah. I got everything on there.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna leave the name thing alone for now. There is one variation on there. I don't know if you saw this, but it said so they didn't spell your full name. It just put Juanit, right? So they left off the A.
Yeah.
And that's not your name, right?
Right.
So we need to get rid of that. So that one we can definitely get rid of because that's simply not your name. They also spelled Constantine wrong. There's no T. Constantine. Yeah, there's 2 T's. So they left out the second T. So that's wrong. So that one we can definitely get rid of.
Okay.
The other ones where it has it hyphenated, obviously you use that. So we'll leave it. And then the name with Robinson we'll leave as well.
Okay.
Okay, so that should not be a problem. Your date of birth also needs to be updated. One of the credit bureaus just lists your date of birth as 1983.
1983?
Yeah.
Oh, I was born in 1983.
Right, but you have a full date of birth, right?
Oh, it just has just the year. Oh, okay.
Right. So when I mean accurate, I mean this is the only way credit repair works is when you get them on minor things, right?
Okay.
So your date of birth is June 25th, 1983.
Okay.
Okay, so we want to update that. So everything in your personal section information should be short, to the point, one address, one name, one date of birth, one social, right? So we're going to clean that up. All right, so we're going to remove the Juanit, that inaccuracy. We're going to remove all these other addresses. So your aunt's address, the Graff Avenue, the 56th Street, and Broadway. And Llewellyn, right. So all those got to go. The only one that should be on there should be Kennedy Boulevard, apartment 1C, right? Okay. All right. So, okay. Can you tell me what the city is? Because they're reporting it differently. One is saying West New York and the other is saying Gutenberg. Which one?
So technically, I think it is like according to my mail, like my postal, it's Gutenberg. But literally, like the towns in New York, I mean, in Jersey are so small. I can still put West New York and get mail, but I guess formally you could just put Gutenberg.
Formally, it's Gutenberg. Yeah. Okay. So you want it? Is that what's on your ID?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you'll need to use. Right. So everything needs to match. So that's what's on your IDs, that's what's on your mail, you want to use that. So they need to get rid of West New York. Okay. All right. So that is like always the first step. Just get your personal section information tight, and then that helps with like the negative stuff as well. Okay. So it's not a guarantee that negative items will be removed because of it, but it makes you look stable. Right. So when you do go to move, they'll be like, oh, she's been living here for 10 years. Like, oh my gosh, like, oh, she's only had one job. She has one name. You know what I mean? Like you just look more stable. So we're trying to get into the head and the minds of the creditors and how they look at you.
Perfect. That makes sense.
All right, cool. So that is the first part. So I know for you, your credit score probably looks like, oh my God. Right?
Horrifying.
Right. But it really, really isn't.
No.
No, seriously, the problem is you just don't have enough credit.
Right.
So what they're judging you on is how well have you paid people in the past?
Right.
How well have you paid people, with a revolving line of credit, with installment loans that you had to pay over time, like a car, that you paid for 5 years. How well are you paying that credit card that you have to pay every month, right? So that's how they're going to give you points. So if I look at your credit report and I'm like, I don't know how she gonna pay this for over 5 years. I don't know if she's gonna pay this credit card on time every month. Why would I give you a loan? Why would I approve you for this apartment? Why would I approve you for this car? You're not showing me that you're credit worthy. That is the main reason why you're at a 500.
Right.
Okay, that's the main reason. Yes, there are a couple negatives on there, but they're not terrible. Okay, you don't have a whole bunch of judgments, a whole lot of charge-offs, a whole lot of collections, a whole lot of late payments, a whole lot of negatives. So you more so need to focus on rebuilding.
Right.
Okay, so rebuilding means that you need to get credit. I know sometimes people shy away from it because they're like, oh God, no, I gotta worry about this credit card and, right? So I
Right.
understand that. However, it takes credit to use credit to have a good credit score.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay.
And they get us caught up in that game, right? Like, okay, now I gotta apply for a credit card with high interest rate, right? So you feel like you're being sucked into the cycle, but you have me, you have the tools, right? You have the guidance to be able to manage it well. That's all you have to do. Just be disciplined and manage it the right way.
Right.
All right. So really that's what your focus. We're going to get to the negative things, but I want you to really feel comfortable that you're not in a bad place.
Okay.
Like, I think you had like 2, honestly, like 3 collections.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2
And
collections.
one of them was really, well, actually, they said that they was going to remove it. It looks like they haven't. Is it the Convergent one? I think that's because that was my landlord's one. He was actually paying and responsible for my electricity.
Oh, okay.
And I asked them to remove it, and they said that they would. That's what Experian said, but I don't know if they removed it on
Okay, so
everything.
Experian did. So it's only reporting on TransUnion and Equifax. Did you speak to, you called Experian?
I just did it online, and
Okay.
that's what they did. So,
Okay. All right. So if you were able to get that done online, then it should be easy to dispute it then.
right.
So can you explain the situation to me a little bit?
With that bill.
Mhm.
So basically, my landlord, the place where I was living in before, my landlord was basically responsible for paying that particular bill. And then when I left, he was supposed to have covered that, and he didn't.
Mhm.
So, well, I mean, I don't know if there was a discrepancy, or like obviously it was in my name because I lived in the apartment,
Mhm.
but he was really responsible. Well, it was in his name, but I don't know how they got my name for me to pay it. But it's basically was my landlord's bill.
Hmm. So it had to have been in your name.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't really know, but I remember. Obviously, I was paying it to him. Or was
Okay.
I don't really remember because it was a while ago. So maybe I'd have to like. I don't even know how to really get in touch with them. But I told them that it was a landlord, and they was like, "Oh, we're going to remove it." And then, well, Experian did, but the other 2 didn't.
Okay. And then has any payment been made on this account that you know about?
Not. I mean, this was years ago. Like the last. This bill must have come from 2013 because that's when I last lived in.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That helps. Okay. All right. Okay. So we'll say that then. Then how about the one for 111? It's with
Downtown.
Downtown Women. Hmm.
So I actually paid them off last week because that was my bill. So I paid it off, but I didn't realize that you're not supposed to pay off. Like that was a copay or something. And then it was like charging interest. And then I didn't even know that they could report medical things on your credit, but yeah.
Who did you pay it with?
I called them directly, the actual downtown, the
Oh,
medical.
oh,
Mhm.
the medical facility.
Yeah. So
Oh,
they
that's
said that,
fine.
not with the collection. So they said that they were going to report it. The billing department said that they were going to report it. So I guess I don't know when they're going to do that.
Don't wait on them. Do you have a copy of the receipt?
I have it in I think they sent it to me, but they said they were going to send me a letter too.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
usually they send like an email with just
yeah, I got the email. Yeah.
okay, so print out that email,
Hmm.
and basically what that means is that the account is no longer collectible.
Okay.
So if it's paid with the original creditor, so, the hospital, the health facility, whatever it is, that means, hey, this account is settled with this company. This company can't even report to you that this exists because it's paid. So
Right.
how can you report on my credit report that I owe this balance? That's collection activity, right? So it's no longer collectible. All right. So that is a easy solution. You just take that receipt and that goes to the collection agency and simply tell them this account is no longer collectible.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So we got a no longer collectible account. Then convergent, we have, they're marking that there was a payment made in March of this year. I highly doubt that, considering it's such an old account. So
Convergent, is that, which one, how much is that for? 166?
166.
I
Yeah.
haven't, and I didn't make that, the Convergent one. Can you click on it to see if it is the
PS.
PSEG?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't touched that.
Exactly.
That was, yeah. So I don't know, because obviously we're in March. So I reached out to them a week or so ago, the Experian, to say that
Yeah. So
that's not my bill. So I don't know if that's what they're saying is.
yeah, no, yeah, that's inaccurate reporting. Okay. So that is a reason for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then we're gonna go on to, I think there was one more. Okay, so this is the one I had questions about. Actually, no, before we get to, so Sprint. This one is paid.
Yeah, so I paid that. What are we in now? 2019. I want to say it was either the beginning of last year or the beginning of 2017. I don't really recall, but I definitely paid that off. And
Okay.
they're saying it's paid.
Yes.
Right?
So even when an account is paid, it still shows up negative on your credit report, so it's still hurting you.
Right.
So a paid collection, a paid charge off, whatever the negative account is still the same as an unpaid account.
Mm.
So guess what? The creditor is looking at it and say, oh, wait, 3 years ago, she didn't pay this account on time. Right? So yes, now, right, you paid it because you're on better terms, whatever. But at that time, you felt exactly.
Right.
So they're still judging you. They're still judging you on the past because the score is going to dictate to them what is the likelihood of you going late in a 90-day period. So if you went late, if that account went to collection or charge off, you were more than 90 days late. And that's what it's telling them.
Right.
So yes, you paid it now, but it doesn't even push your score up maybe 3 points. That's how bad it is. Like paying it now does nothing for your score. And a lot of people make that mistake. They're like, oh, well, I paid it. My score should go up or it should be removed. It still stays on there and your score doesn't even move.
Right.
So that's the negative side of it. Unless you're going to reach out to them and do something called a pay for delete. You pay it in full and say, hey, in exchange, I need you to remove it from my credit report. But a lot of people don't know that ahead of time, so they pay it and then realize it's still there. So for that one, let me see. The date of last activity is inaccurate, as well as the last reported date is inaccurate. So there are a couple of ways you can dispute this account for removal. And the first dispute will come after you fix your personal section. Okay, so the first letter will be removing those old addresses and things like that, updating your date of birth. And then the very first dispute will be these collection accounts that we're going over here.
Okay.
All right. Now, the question I had, so we went over Sprint, okay. The question I had was the Capital One. The Capital One credit card.
And I paid that off too, because I paid all these not knowing that.
It's paid?
I paid it off just recently. So
okay. No, that's
I paid both of them, and they said they were going to report it. But again, I received one letter to say that I paid, because I paid it off in installments. So I got one letter saying that they received half of the payment, and I'm still waiting for the next letter to say that it's paid off.
Great. You don't even have to wait for that. So what you'll do in this first round with these other collections, you just dispute the balance. Because 9 times out of 10, they're not going to update it, and there's some inaccuracies other places. So, that's good. Ooh, that's good. That's good. Okay.
Yeah, so I paid that off. So the only thing that's not I didn't touch was the convergent
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. That's cool. All right. So those things will go in your first dispute letter. All right. So we've talked about the negatives, and that's all there is.
right.
Literally. You don't have a whole lot of inquiries. You don't have a whole lot of extra stuff. Like, that's it. The problem is you just don't have enough positive credit. All right. So let's now move into that. All right. So just like you had the first progress card, I'm sure that was a secure card when you applied for it, right?
Progress.
For you don't have, okay. Hopefully this is your card.
What was it?
It's called First Premier. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay.
I just literally got that one last year because my credit was bad. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. So you need to do more like that.
Okay.
Okay. So in the course, there are several options, but I'm going to let you, so you don't have to go through it and say, okay, well, which one should I apply for? Da, da, da. I like to, and that's why you pay for the, advance, one-on-one, so I can actually tell you what's going to be beneficial for you. So you don't have to go and sit through which ones you're going to apply for. So I recommend the credit builder card.
Okay. I'm
Because,
just writing all this down.
sure. So it's a secure card, just like First Premier. And the security deposit is $200. Okay. And I want you to apply for 2 of them. We have to be very, very aggressive with your file. Okay. Considering the time frame. If it was, hey, we had 9 months, a year, or something like that, then we would break it up. We would go slower, things like that. But we need to be aggressive so that we can start to see results. Okay. So 2 credit builder secure cards. So they're going to be $200 each, which is a security deposit. You know how that works because you applied for one before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the links are inside. Let me see if I can pull it up. But you know what? I'm probably going to give you the links directly to apply, so you don't have to log into the course unless you want to. So I'll email you the links just to make it a little bit easier for you.
Perfect.
But everything is in here. Just, if you want to go back for reference, like, I definitely want you to go through it so that you do understand like what I am telling you now and things like that. But I'll email you the links just to make it, more convenient for you.
Perfect.
So I want you to apply for 2 secure credit cards. So there's going to be the credit builder card. Okay. Then there are 2 catalog cards or accounts. Let me explain what they are. So you ever heard of overstock.com?
Yes.
Okay. Very, very similar. Very similar. So it's an online catalog where you're shopping only with this company, right? So you don't get an actual card for the account. However, they are going to approve you for up to $5,000.
Mm.
So imagine a line of credit showing up on your credit report for $5,000 and all you have to use is $100.
Right.
Now imagine the boost you see in your score just from adding that account. So I get a lot of complaints, and I'm going to tell you this straight up from people, because either you want good credit or you don't, right? So it's not the best place to go shop. Like, of course you would rather go to Amazon. Of course you would rather go to the store, Target or what have you, whatever your stores are. But we're trying to fix our credit here. So if these guys are willing to extend you $5,000 line of credit because your credit score is poor, you better jump on it.
Right.
Right? So it's kind of like the sacrifice. Yes, you had to apply for that secure card with a little bit higher interest rate. But again, those are the only people willing to approve you for credit, right?
Right.
So that's why you have to go that route. So a lot of people do give a lot of pushback, or they drag their feet with applying for those accounts because of that purpose. But I'm here to tell you, this is the only route that we can take to get that boost. Okay.
Yeah.
So one is my Jewelers Club. So just all different types of jewelry. And so what I use it for, I get small little trinkets and give them away for gifts, right? Like to nieces and nephews and things like that. So you may not find anything you like, or you might, or you can give it away as a gift. So you're literally only spending your minimum purchase to get the account activated is $100. So you go on the site and only buy something for $100. Okay, so if it's a little more, okay, fine, but you don't have to spend $200, $300, $400, $500 to get the account activated. So there's no excuse. Okay, so the first one is My Jewelers Club, and the second one is New Coast Direct. Now, New Coast Direct is more similar to the Overstock.com because they have a variety of items. Like you can get a gym bag, you can get a camera, you can get, literally just like Overstock or Amazon. Okay, the prices obviously are different, but again, minimum purchase of $100 to get the account activated. Okay, the detail, like I said, I'll put the details as well as the links in an email for you to make everything convenient for you so you know exactly what accounts I want you to apply for. So the 2 secure cards, My Jewelers Club, New Coast, I would prefer both, but you can look and choose to see which one you want to sign up for. But I think both would have the best effect on your credit score.
And then both of them have 5,000 each.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay, so how long have you been paying rent?
For
here
to where I am now, or
mm-hmm.
I've been paying, rent. So I would probably say since I was 22, 23.
At this apartment?
No, sorry. Oh gosh, since 2013.
Okay, so 5 years. Okay. So another thing that you're lacking is years of credit history, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your length of credit history.
Yeah.
So,
well, my Capital One, I opened that in 2008 and it got closed. So.
Right. So what that did was not only did it take away the good payment history, it took away the years.
Right.
But whenever you close an account or when the credit guarantor closes the account, it reduces your age of history.
Right.
That's 15% of your score. And so a lot of people don't think it's important because they're like, oh, I don't even use that card. I'm going to close it. Or, it's been open so long, I'm going to close it. And then when they see a drop in their score, they're like, oh my God, what happened? Is because your length of history went from 8 years to 2 or
right.
8, whatever it is now. So now we got to go back and tell the credit bureaus, but hey, I've been making rental payments. How about you add that to my credit profile? Okay, so we're going to do that. So most companies only report the most recent 24 months. So there are 3 companies. I'm going to show you this section because this one is going to be depending upon your budget. So I would like you to choose. So let's go to this section. I'm going to share my screen so you can see exactly what I'm looking at. Okay. Can you see what I'm looking at?
Right.
Okay. All right. So here in the course is under credit building, right? So under here. And then it's going to say add rental history. So there are 3 resources you can use. And it gives you all the resources and the direct links to their sites. So here you can use either Rental Karma, right? So the qualification is do you pay rent to a property management company? Do you pay rent to a landlord? And or rent to a family member as long as the family member is the owner of the property. Okay. Then you have an option of using Rent Reporters. They also report 24 months of rental history to TransUnion and Equifax. Okay. And then Rental Harvest also reports up to 24 months of rental history. Rental Harvest, I believe, only reports to TransUnion right now. So I would probably recommend doing Rent Reporters or Rental Karma because you want as much information on most of the bureaus as possible. So I would use one of those. All right, so let's see how much Rent Reporters is so that you can decide. So pricing. Okay, so monthly reporting is $9.95 per month. And then the sign-up fee is $94.95. I think Rental Karma is cheaper. Let's go back there. I'm pretty sure they were cheaper. Yes, $25 per renter. Yeah, they're cheaper for setup fee, and then $6.95 per month. Yep, so they're cheaper.
Okay.
Okay.
And they report to both TransUnion.
Okay. Yep.
So rental car.
So no contract, you can cancel anytime. And this, I mean, I would say leave it on there at least for a year so that you can get the history. And then when you move, that'll be on there and that'll help the apartment that you're looking to get when you move. They'll say, oh, she's rented before, right? She's good with making her payments on time.
So, sorry, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
So since obviously I'm joining now and then I only plan to be in this apartment through 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
it's such a short amount of time. So obviously it's not going to take into account the whole time that I've been in here, right?
Well, they're going to report the last 24 months.
Oh, they are. Okay. So how do they know that I've paid it? Does my landlord have to?
Your landlord verifies the lease information.
Okay.
Yep.
So I have to tell him.
It goes directly. So that information goes here and it's done automatically. So if you want to give him a heads up, you can.
Well, because that's the thing. So how I pay my rent, my actual landlord himself lives in Florida.
Okay.
So I pay it to the man that rented this apartment. So I pay on his behalf. So I don't know how.
Oh, so it's a sublet?
Yes, it's a sublet.
Okay. So you pay.
So I mean, it goes into his account, but I give it to.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
Because
So I'll
it's
just
just
let
a
them know.
history. Yeah, it's just a history that they're verifying.
Okay.
But he knows you're in the apartment though, right?
Yeah. He knows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah,
above.
yeah. Okay. As long as it's not
I'm
like
not squatting.
right. Somebody else is in there
Yeah,
and they
no, he
didn't know
knows
about
I'm
it.
here.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Okay. And then, so we want to do that. So I would probably use Rental Karma or Rent Reporters. Okay. So as you can see, that is under the credit rebuilding resources. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, this is very new. Experian just released the opportunity to report your utilities. Now, the only reason why we're doing this is because we're trying to stack your credit report with history, right? So once we get rid of all that negative stuff, then your credit report is going to be so bare and they're going to be like, so no credit or new credit is just as bad as having bad credit.
Right.
Right. So we want to stack it with as much history and as much on-time payments as we can. So Experian just released Experian Boost. Okay. It's a very, very new and it's awesome because they're giving you the opportunity to control part of your credit score. So you can report your utilities.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's go there. Are most of your utilities paid on time?
Yes, so basically with my utilities, the only utility that I pay right now is my phone bill.
Okay. Then that's the
I
only one.
don't pay, just rent and my phone bill. I don't even pay cable anymore because my building bought out our cable contract, so they pay for it. So
Right. Okay.
yeah, so I don't pay for like electricity or anything. So just my phone and
That's fine.
yeah.
So then we're only going to use your phone.
Okay.
That's it. So that's the great thing about it. You can actually pick and choose which ones you want to report. So let's say you had gas and electric and water, but water, like you sometimes miss the payment. Then you would only choose
Yeah,
gas.
the only thing with my phone, sometimes like right now I'm on a payment plan and I've been doing that for the past couple of months.
What does payment plan mean?
So basically, they put me, I mean, what's it called? Hold on, I'll tell you exactly what. Hold on, I'm just trying to find the email so I can tell you exactly what.
Mm-hmm.
Just put T-Mobile. Oh, so it's a payment arrangement is set up. So they basically give you the option to like split up in installments. So yeah.
But it's still a monthly payment, right?
Yeah, so I have to like obviously pay if I well, I mean, once they give you that date, you have to pay it on time or they cut off the phone.
Okay, so it's still monthly made payments, right?
Yeah, and then it's
Okay.
like they give you a date to pay it, and then they automatically just deduct it from your account.
Okay, and so it's set up in your account, right? Perfect.
Mhm.
So this is what you'll do. So here is Experian Boost. It's free, so at least one of these accounts are free, right? Something is free
Free,
finally.
free.
um,
Oh, I actually saw this on
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it just was released. So you're gonna go to Experian Boost, and then you would just set up your free account. And the good thing about it is that it takes account immediately. So as soon as you choose your telephone bill to add, and they verify the payments through your account, the boost comes right to your account, and you'll see your FICO score go up.
Okay.
All right. Another thing that's great about this is that Identity IQ, these are not your FICO scores. I think I explained that to you when you thought they were super low. So your scores really have the potential to be even higher than what you're seeing right now, because your FICO scores are calculated differently. So once we put the boost on, you'll see your actual FICO scores, which is the FICO score that lenders are going to be using to approve you for credit.
Mhm.
So you'll see this, and you'll have this account open to use. So that would be really, really awesome as well. So you just put in your information here, right? Set up an account. The next screen, you'll put in your bank information that you pay the account with, right? Experian Boost will locate those payments, right? And then you choose just the telephone bill.
Okay.
Okay. And then step 4, it goes onto your account, and then you'll see the boost. So I'd like you to do that and then report to me what the new score is. So 1, we know your Experian FICO score, and 2, we know how well the boost worked.
Perfect.
Okay. So we're going to do Experian Boost for telephone bill. We're going to do rental payments and the 2 secure cards, and either MGC or New Coast or both.
Mhm.
So that is
So
your
sorry, with the rental payment, how do they verify that I'm paying it? Because I want to know what I need to put in there. So the lease information, what will I be putting in there?
your landlord information.
Because basically I don't even have his information. I just give the money order to the
Oh, okay. So let me see if there's a way around that, and then I will connect with you. So let's do everything else, and then
Okay, perfect.
so you send money order to
I give the money order to
the
the
original.
the real estate guy that originally rented the place to me.
Okay. All right. So we'll try to figure out a way around. I'll write that down to see how we can get around that. But even without that, I think everything else should help. So that is going to be your initial action plan for adding positive credit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The second thing, so, all right, so let's get rid of all of these screens. So we went here, we went here, we went here, we went here. Now this is going to be later. This is going to be, so you're planning to move in June, July, right?
Like the end of June,
Yeah.
begin this week of July.
Okay. So this is what we want to do to supercharge your score. So this is going to be, all right, after majority, I'm pretty confident we should get these negatives off. Like they're not too difficult. So you want to do it after the negative stuff is off. We've added these, secure cards, the catalog cards and things like that, right? So now, right before you move, you want to add trade lines. Okay, so this is what's going to give you history. This is what's going to give you accounts with higher credit limits. Okay, and there's an investment. However, you'll most definitely get approved for what you want when you're ready to move. Like this is going to solidify your score so that you know for a fact that you can get approved. Okay,
So right before I move, add trade line. What is trade lines?
So we're gonna go over that, and I'll guide you at the point when you're ready. So
Okay.
we're gonna keep in contact. I want you to go through the course and do your steps and everything, but we'll keep in contact. So I'll definitely be following up with you, like, hey, how did that go? What's your score now? I'll be checking your credit reports, just to be sure what's been updated. And when I feel like you're ready, then I'll say, hey, go ahead and apply. So have you ever heard of being added as an authorized user? So
Yeah, I've heard of that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's say I'm your cousin and you're like, Stephanie, like, I'm trying to boost my credit scores. I really want to move. And I just kind of need some help. So would you mind adding me as an authorized user onto one of your cards so that I can get the credit history, your payment history, right? You always pay your bills on time. You manage your credit well, your balances are low. And I just need to borrow that history so that my credit score can get higher. And I'm like, sure, that's no problem. So I would add you onto my credit card as an authorized user so that you can benefit from the payment history that I've had on this card I've had for like 10 years.
So that's not an option for me because I don't have any family members here.
Right. Oh, that's why we're here.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. So this is an alternate solution. So there's people that you can ask, assist or phone. When you don't have that, here's your selection. So this is, see if I can pull up the site. Okay. So we are here.
Sorry.
No problem. Actually, let me just pull up the site. So this is a walkthrough video, me showing you how to do it. So you can watch that, but I'm going to show you the website. Okay. So what you want to do is go through the, all right, so I should have gone here. Go through the supply list. All right, so the longer an account has been open, the pricier it is, right? The higher the credit limits on the accounts, the pricier it is. Now you can understand why, right? If I have an account with a $50,000 credit limit and I've had this account open for 15 years and you're benefiting from it, right? You're getting a huge advantage. So the price does go up. So what you want to do is you can sort the list by price. So let's say you want to see the cheapest ones.
Wait, so who does these belong to?
So these are people who come together. So they come together and they say, hey, I am offering you to come onto my my credit card. So we partner with certain people that's willing to help out others, who are, who need the boost. And so people who actually were on their credit improvement journey, right? So let's say I was on my credit improvement journey and I boosted my credit scores and now I have all these credit cards with high credit limits. And now I'm like, hey, let me help other people, but I want to make money at the same time. Then they join and partner with credit repair companies so that they can help others and make money on the side.
So do they have access to my information?
To what information? So they don't have access to your credit report. What's that?
To my personal information.
So your the way that it's going to be posted is through your credit monitoring. So, but they're not actually getting access to your credit monitoring. Okay. That's the way that the trade line is posted.
Got it.
Okay. All right. So you would sort by price. Okay. Obviously, like I said, so this one is kind of newer. This is a 2017 account. So the price is cheaper. It's $190. Okay. And then it tells you how many available spots there are. And again, if you look at it today and look at it like over the weekend, this spot may not even be there anymore.
Gone.
Yeah. So they move pretty quickly. So it's something that you would probably have to check daily or check at the time that you know you have the money. So you can check ahead of time and say, oh, okay, well, I know something that has 3 years credit history, a 2250 credit limit is about 225. Okay, that'll be my budget. Or if I wanted something open a little bit longer, then I will scroll down and then see what the price is for that. So let's see something with a little bit more history so we can see what, okay, so this one, 2012. That's 7 years credit history. So the price went up a little bit more to 400, right? So 7 years is good. You don't really need to go more than that. $3,800 credit limit, that's decent, right? So we're looking for just a boost. You know, some people who are like getting into real estate investing or, you know, big time companies or, you know, businesses, then they do higher limits and things like that. But if you're just doing it so that your score can go up and so that you can get approved to move, then, you know, something with 7 years history is totally, you know, good enough.
So can I do that now, or are you saying to do that
No,
right before I move?
you have to do it after the negative items are removed.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You said that. Sorry.
Yep. Yeah. So this is this is why I showed you this last, because this is the very last step. So it's not going to work with a whole bunch of negative stuff on there. And it's not going to work when you do it in the beginning.
Okay.
Right. You got to do it at the end so that one, it can take effect, right? So that you'll see the effect. Like if you got a boost now, you probably wouldn't see it because your score is down with all those negative stuff.
Right.
Right. So that's why this is a very, very, very last step. So one more thing. Before we even,
sorry, I'll be right back. I just need to get my pen. All right. So trade line is a step.
yeah. So when you send out your dispute letter, so the first one we're going to do is the personal, right? To get more of an effect is when you freeze these three, well, see, you don't have a whole lot of judgments, but still. So when you freeze your credit report, so basically you're opting out of, do you get credit card offers in the mail? Like, hey, here's this gold MasterCard and hey.
Sometimes I haven't, I don't think I've got one in a while.
Okay. So what that is that your, bless you, is that your information is shuffled throughout the credit bureaus, right? Mm-hmm. Now, what they do is they take your personal information and sell it to these credit card companies. Yes. So they're making billions of dollars off of you, right? Mm-hmm. So they sell your information and say, hey, I don't know if y'all knew this, but Juanita has a 520 credit score, right? So they come and buy your information and then sell you that credit card offer in the mail. And most people bite because they're desperate for credit. So they get that credit card offer in the mail, that pre-approval, and they're like, oh my God, finally. And then they get approved. The interest rate is crazy high. They can't make the payments. They go over the limit. They have high interest rates. And then the bank, what? Makes money off of that overage charge, that high interest you're paying. So they're getting their money's worth because they paid the credit bureaus a couple dollars for your information. But guess what? They're making hundreds and thousands of dollars off of you because now you're over your limit. You can't pay the bill, late fees, right? Interest, right. All that. So this is to prevent that from happening in the beginning, as well as this helps them not to be able to verify the information when you send in your dispute letter. Mm-hmm. So you're freezing your personal information. You're saying, hey, I don't want you looking at my personal information. I don't want you selling my information. I don't want it to be public record.
Perfect.
Okay. So there's these three little credit bureaus that people don't talk about, right? They're owned by the bigger ones. But if your information is here and open to the public, then your information is going to get verified, right? So we go to Sage Stream, we go to LexisNexis, and we go to Enovis. These are the smaller credit bureaus. Enovis LexisNexis, and SageStream.
Oh, sorry, what's the other? So SageStream, LexisNexis.
And Innovis, Innovis.
Perfect, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And so that is right here under Module 2B. Module 2B. And literally, like, you don't even have to leave the system. Everything is right there. I gave you the link. So when you're ready to freeze SageStream, you're just going to click here and then, do what you need to do. You're going to call 888-395-0277. I think there was a time frame for this one. Usually
I have to call each of them?
Yes, to freeze your file. It's automated, so it's not like you're waiting on the phone for anybody.
Okay.
And the numbers are right here.
Perfect.
Okay. LexisNexis is a quick form. You'll see that. Click here. You're going to opt out. So this is basically telling them you want to suppress your information. You don't want it to be made public. Fill in your name, your social, your address, your email, and your phone number, and you click, I do not want my information available for distribution to the general public.
And this is on LexisNexis.
LexisNexis. Then you're going to do the same thing here with Innovis. Fill out this form. You're going to click the first button, request a security freeze. Fill out your name. No, you're not a victim. Do not file identity theft. There's a lot of people out there teaching this, but don't do it because it's breaking the law. Like, if you were not a victim of identity theft, don't say you were. So a lot of people out there, yes, a lot of people, because it's a sure way to get deletions, but it's a sure way to get locked up too.
Yeah, because I'm sure that they will verify. They're not just going to take you, no.
So a lot of time, I mean, it works, but again, like, you don't want that to catch up to you and, you're lying. Like, I don't advocate lying, right?
No.
Writing a decent dispute letter is going to get you results. You just got to follow the process and stick with it. That's it. That's
Right.
all it is. But so I don't advocate those type of tactics. Right. So if you hear people say that, run the other way.
Right. Trust me, I've heard some stuff in not with credit, but just with other like unscrupulous stuff, like with social media marketing, like the stuff that I'm like,
yeah,
I'm like,
good. Yeah. So you're gonna definitely say no, you're not a victim of identity theft. Put in your address and put submit request. So you're basically suppressing your information from the general public.
Perfect.
Okay. So you're gonna do that. Call these numbers and they'll send you a copy of your credit report, and that will also freeze your credit file. So
that's the first step to do. I can do that now.
You can do that right now. So you can actually do that. Well, it's not going to work now. They're not going to answer the phone. So
okay.
Tomorrow, do it tomorrow. And then all the numbers are here, right? All the numbers are here. So SageStream is 888-395-0277. LexisNexis is 888-497-0011. And Innovis is 800-540-2505. And they come very quickly. Like, this is quick. Like, this step is quick, right? 7 days, it's done. So they get the request automatically. You should get the credit reports in the mail immediately, and the freeze is done. Okay.
So do I unfreeze at any point?
Yes.
Okay.
So freeze. So we're going to go over the steps now. Freeze. Okay. Do that tomorrow. Send in your personal cleanup section information, right? So as a courtesy, since you are so awesome, as a courtesy, I'll draft your first personal. Look at you.
I was waiting for you to look at me like. I'm so goofy. I'm sorry. I was like, as soon as you said I could just, I was like, oh. I'll take my compliments from anyone.
As a courtesy, I'll draft your first personal information dispute letter. So you'll see exactly what it looks like, what it's supposed to look like, the verbiage, right? We want to keep it short, straight to the point, simple, and just remove all this extra stuff. Like, okay, that's it, right? So
the letters, well, you're so kindly, thank you. You draft them for me, and then I just put it in the mail and I send it.
So I'm going to tell you what to send with it. So I'm going to draft your first letter, which is your personal information letter, where it's going to clean it up, right? Um, then I want you to send your, what did you say you had? Passport? Right. So, well, you said you have an ID, right? Photo ID?
Right now I just have my my non-driver's
Okay.
ID.
So send that. So send your non-driver's ID. You have a
Do I have
social
to send a
security?
copy?
Huh?
Do I have to send the copy?
Yes. It has to be a very clear copy. Like, make sure it's color, make sure you can see your face. They want to verify it's you, right? So it's the same thing you would be doing, like if a credit repair company was if I was gonna do it for you, you would have to send a copy so we could send it in. So every
So
time.
on my ID, I only have my first last name, which is Constantine.
Right. So remember we said we're just gonna keep the name. We're just gonna remove. On your ID it says Constantine.
Yeah, it doesn't have Robinson on there.
But your mail, your lease does.
Yes, my lease has it. So do I have to send that in too?
Yes. So we're doing a copy of your ID, your social security card, and then you got to show some proof of address. So your proof of address can come from your lease, or like a bank statement, or utility bill. So any of those, with your name and address showing on the front page of that. So you can use a
So
print.
here's another thing. I misplaced my social security card, so I have to go and get another one. So
We're not going to wait for that. You have a W-2 or a tax return with your social on it?
Yes.
Use that.
Okay.
Okay. Non-driver's ID, tax return with your social on it, and some proof of address. So you can use your lease, your bank statement, or a utility bill with your name and address on it, your current address. So only show something that has the Kennedy Boulevard address.
So bank statement, lease, or
utility bill. Oh, you don't pay utilities.
I have my phone bill.
Your telephone bill, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So those three things will go with that first letter, and that's basically.
What about a pay stub?
For
my job, from my job. Is that no?
Use a bank statement, utility bill, or a lease.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that's more. So you send those three things in, make sure it's a clear copy, it's legible. We don't want them coming back saying, look, we can't verify who you are, or the document was legible. They're going to come up with 50 billion reasons to not have your letters go through, to not do the investigation. Don't give them any more reasons, okay? So be sure it's a clear color copy, and your face is visible. It can be read. They can see your address. They can see your name, all that good stuff. All right, so that letter will be crafted. All the accounts we talked about today will be in an email for you with the links to apply. So then that's the first step, right? That should not, every investigation takes 30 days. They're allotted 30 days. However, the personal section information, they're able to take care of very quickly. So it's going to be about 15 to 20 days, because they're not doing anything. Like, I'm not asking you to investigate it. I'm telling you to remove it. Like, that's not my name.
Right.
So since it's not an investigation where they have to go verify it and they have to go do this and that, or go to the creditors, it's like boom, 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 right? So that should be about 15 to 20 days. All right. When that comes back, then we want to dispute those accounts that we spoke about. Remember, downtown OBGYN, print a copy of your receipt. Okay, that goes to the copy of the receipt is going to go with your letter and say, who was the National Credit Systems? This account is no longer collectible. This has been paid with Downtown Women OBGYN. Please see a copy of my receipt. Please delete this item from my credit report. That's it. See how simple it is? Like, people go online and they download all these legal letters with, I'm going to sue you and pursuant to this section.
Stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
They just be like, nice try.
They'd be like, nice try.
Try it.
Thanks for sounding like a lawyer. Or no, you want to sound like Juanita. Like, look, my credit is jacked up. This doesn't belong on my credit report. What are you guys doing over there? That's literally how you're going to write your letter. That's it. I'm trying to move. I can't get approved for an apartment. Can you please help me fix this?
Right.
That's it. That's how you start out your letter. Dear TransUnion.
Wait, so, okay, because I'm just a bit confused. So I print a copy of the receipt that I paid to the downtown place, to the actual medical billing
Yes.
office. And then who am I sending the
So this
dispute?
is going to the credit bureau. You're going to say, Dear TransUnion. So it's
Okay.
reporting to TransUnion and Equifax. So you're writing the same letter to both of them. Dear TransUnion, I'm trying to move and get approved for an apartment. However, I'm not having any luck. I was denied for this
If I
apartment.
wasn't,
Huh?
should I mean, that didn't happen.
Oh, so you haven't applied for anything. I thought you said
No, I haven't. No, because I'm moving into LA in June, so I haven't even
you haven't applied anywhere. Yeah, okay, so you're going to apply, right? I'm going to
Yes,
apply.
and I don't want to.
Right. And I pulled my credit report. And I saw some items that does not belong on there. Can you help me fix these, please? Right? And you're going to list the collection company name. National, I think it's National Credit System. Let me see here. National Credit Systems. Right next to National Credit Systems, you're going to put the account number. Right. They say it's 10013. Okay, after the name and you put the account number next to it, right below it, now you're going to start writing why you're disputing it.
Okay, so write out name.
And account number.
Okay.
This account has been paid. I do not owe, what did they say you owe? $111 to this company. This account is not collectible. Please delete this inaccurate item from my credit report.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Okay, so that's for the downtown. And then for the Sprint one that
Sprint.
I paid, is that the same thing too?
Sprint. Who did you pay it with?
I think I paid it with Sprint, or maybe it was a collection agent. It was a while ago, so I have to do some digging.
Yeah, probably with the collection agency. If it's with Sprint, you're going to follow the same protocol as the downtown.
Actually, it wasn't with Sprint. It was the collection, because so I called up the credit company saying like, oh, why is it the credit bureau? And they was like, you have to call the collection agency. And then when I called the collection agency, they were going to put me in touch with the department that I had paid, but I didn't.
I figured that's what it was. I figured most of the times when it's like wireless, they sell the account and they don't want to be dealing with it anymore. So for here, do you know when you paid it?
It was either the beginning of last year or 2017. I think it was 2017 that I paid it, because I think I switched back to.
Okay.
I think I got
so. Try your best to nail down that date, because if so, then the date of last activity is inaccurate. So when we're disputing, you want to find why the account doesn't belong there. Like, why is it inaccurate?
Activity now.
So it's saying two different dates. Now, let's say, okay, so I'm gonna give you two examples. So on your credit report, TransUnion shows the date of last activity is January 6, 2018, right? Experian shows September 1st, 2018. If you guys are getting the information from the same company, why are you reporting two different dates?
Right.
Right? So even if you paid it in 2017, that is inaccurate.
Right.
So you don't even have to use that if you don't want to. You can just literally say, there are 2 different dates reporting on my credit report. TransUnion shows XYZ date. Experian shows XYZ date. How can this be accurate? Please delete this account for inaccuracy. That's it. That's all. You can add in there, okay, this date doesn't match my records if you want to, just to, throw that in there. But you don't even have to. You're pointing out why the information is inaccurate and why it should not be on your credit report. That is your first defense, okay? Your second defense is the last reported date. So if you do an investigation, let's say you send in your dispute letter, we're in March, April, and this last reported date here doesn't change. And let me share my screen. Okay, you see this right here?
Mm-hmm.
3/2/2019 and 9/1/2018.
Right.
Okay, that's inaccurate. So TransUnion, you reported it this month, but Experian, you haven't done anything. So if you send in your letter this month and they come back and they do not update this date right here that says last reported, guess what? That means they didn't even do an investigation.
Mm. Wait, so it was reported this year?
That's what they're saying. So somebody is lying, right? Somebody is not doing their job. Somebody is just writing whatever the hell they want to write on here. So that's why I'm saying your report is not that bad, because at the end of the day, if the information is not 100% accurate across the board, it needs to be removed from your credit report. That's what the law says.
Right.
We don't care if this account really did happen. We don't care if it's paid or not.
So I don't even have to mention that I paid it?
No.
Okay.
Because guess what? Experian said you paid it, but we don't care about that.
Mm-hmm.
We care to explain why it doesn't belong on your credit report. If we go in there and say, oh, I paid this, I paid that, I paid this, they're just going to update it and say you paid it. They're not going to do anything for you. We have to show them why it does not belong on your credit report. So your first angle of defense, I would use the date of last activity. I think that's your strongest argument. So in your first letter, that is the argument you want to use, the date of last activity. Hey, you're showing 2 different dates of last activity. And I would tell them TransUnion shows, this is exactly what I would say, TransUnion shows 1/6/2018.
Okay.
Experian,
Sorry, I just want to make sure I get this.
yes.
TransUnion shows.
One,
and I know we have this recorded, but I just.
yeah, and then I think I sent you a copy of this, 1/6/2018, because you want to print this out, this page. So whatever you're disputing, print that page of your credit report and circle it.
Perfect.
Yeah, so this is page 4, right? So you would print page 4, and what I mean, you could circle, you could highlight whatever your preference is, but you just want to highlight and show them what you are talking about, right? This is what I'm talking about, right? Circle this, 1/6/2018, Experian shows 9/1/2018. How can this be accurate if you're showing 2 different dates? Please delete this account for inaccuracy. That's it. Okay. So we did Sprint, we did, oh, okay, the Capital One account. We're gonna just straight up dispute the, there's a lot of things wrong here, but we're gonna go with the, I would dispute the balance.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember you said you paid it off.
Right.
So all we're gonna say is, the balance is inaccurate. I do not owe $2,179. Please delete for inaccuracy. Boom, that's it.
So the balance is inaccurate as I've paid off this account. Please
No,
delete.
don't say I paid off this
Oh,
account.
sorry. The balance is
The balance
inaccurate.
is inaccurate. I do not owe 2,100. And you're telling them what's inaccurate on their end. Don't tell them what you've done, what you got, your arsenal, because you can use that later. But in your first letter, keep it simple. I don't owe 21.79. Even if it was $10 off, you would dispute it because that's not what you owe.
Perfect.
Okay, so we're going to say the balance is inaccurate. I do not owe $2,179. Please delete this item for inaccuracy. That's it. So of course you put the account name, the account number next to it, which is right here, up here, right? And then you start writing. The balance is inaccurate. I do not owe $2,179. Please delete for inaccuracy. Print out page, what page this is? 3. Circle the balance. And that goes along with your letter, your IDs, and all that stuff, right?
So I'm sorry. Am I sending this all in one envelope?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I sending separate, like for each account?
No. All in the same letter. So everything that is reporting on TransUnion is going to go in one letter.
Okay.
So we're going to do Capital One for TransUnion, Convergent for TransUnion, National Credit Systems for TransUnion, Receivable Performance Management for TransUnion.
I'm sorry. I'm getting like a little anxious now because I'm getting confused.
Oh, okay. So see where I am?
Yes.
Okay. So this is TransUnion. Only look at TransUnion right now. Don't look at anything else. So we're dealing with all the negatives that are with TransUnion.
Okay.
Okay. So the very first account. So remember how we're going to open up. Dear TransUnion, I'm trying to move and get qualified for an apartment. So I pulled my credit report and I saw some stuff on there that doesn't belong there. Can you help me fix these? I'm challenging the following. : Capital One, account number 517-80575. This balance is inaccurate. I do not owe $2,179. Please delete this item for inaccuracy. Done. Convergent, account number 8272. What do we say here?
That's the PSBG. That account belonged to my.
The date of last activity is inaccurate. Please delete for inaccuracy. Okay.
So sorry, the date of the last activity is inaccurate.
Yeah. You can say there was no payment made on, what date did they put? March 3rd, 2019. Now, in the same
But there was
transaction
no
letter
payment.
yeah, there was no payment made on March 3rd, 2019. Now we're still in the TransUnion letter. National Credit Systems, account number 10013. The balance is inaccurate. This account has been paid in full to Downtown Women OBGYN. This account is not collectible. Please delete this inaccurate account from my credit report. So that's how many? 1, 2, 3 so far. Okay.
So this account has been paid in full and is no longer collectible.
Yep. Please delete. Oh, please see attached copy of my receipt for payment. Because remember, if you got documentation, you prove it.
No.
For all the other things, you just dispute it. But here, please see attached copy of my receipt for payment. And then please delete for inaccuracy.
And then the sprint one.
So now we go to, oops, too big. Receivable performance management, account number 5751. Oh, we used the date of last activity for this one. The date of last activity is inaccurate. TransUnion shows, and it's exactly what you said, TransUnion shows 1/06/2018, and Experian shows 9/1/2018. How can this be accurate? Question mark. Please delete for inaccuracy. That's it. And then you print this page and you highlight this date right here, or you circle it. So make a note of this, print page 4, print page 3, and that's it. And then you circle everything we went over today, okay?
Perfect.
That is just TransUnion, right?
Okay.
Experian is going to include Capital One, and receivable. And you use the same things you said it in the TransUnion letter for those two accounts. So Experian's letter will only have 2 accounts, receivable and Capital One. And you say the same thing. Capital One, account number 51780575. The balance is inaccurate. I do not owe $2,179. Please delete this item from my credit report for inaccuracy. And you said you paid this much. See how messed up they are? You paid this like a couple weeks ago, you said?
Mm-hmm.
So look, if you see this here, right? It says date of last payment, March 1, 2019. That means they should have updated this number.
Right.
You see how messed up they are?
Yep.
So even if it wasn't paid off yet, this number is not right.
Right.
So that's how we're going to get them. Like, just get in your mind to just finding the errors on here, right? So that's basically just what I do all day, all night.
Right.
I don't try to make anything up. I'm not, lying about. I'm not saying the account is not yours, right? That's how those other companies get those accounts to come back onto the credit report, or getting sued and things like that, right? You just want to let them know why that information does not belong on your credit report. So Experian, you got 2 accounts. Equifax, we got Capital One, Convergent, National Credit Systems, and that's it. So we got 3. Okay? The same reason used in the TransUnion letter.
So Equifax is 3.
3. So 4, 2, and 3. 4 in TransUnion, 2 in Experian, and 3 on Equifax.
So Equifax has 3 accounts. And what's the 3 accounts in Equifax?
It's Capital One, Convergent, and
Downtown.
National Credit Systems. Yeah.
National Credit Systems?
Mm-hmm. That's the name of the collection agency, 10013. Yeah. So you're going to list a collection agency because that's who's reporting it. So don't list Downtown, list the National Credit Systems. I'm going to email you a copy of this. So remember, you're printing page 3 and 4.
Okay.
So make 3 copies of pages 3 and 4, and you're going to send it to
Each place.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You got it. It's not so bad when you got the.
I'm squashed with a K.
You don't have a whole lot. It's gonna be. You're not bad. So those are the most strongest arguments for your first round. All you have to do is send that out. So I'll give you the letter for your first one. Then you send that on your second one. and let me know when you get the results back from the second one.
Perfect.
Okay.
So I have one quick question. So a year or so ago, a stupid gym I had signed up for, basically it was Crunch Gym. They haven't reported it on my credit report, but I don't know how long they're going. I don't know. I don't know what to do about it, because I was just going to call them and pay it, because just for a simple life. But now that I'm learning all of this, so basically I joined a gym. So basically I thought I was joining the gym in Manhattan, because they, there's like, oh, you have a special, da, 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 da. So I joined the gym, and it was like, oh, here's this special price. So the day that I called up, and I was like, oh, well, how do I get my, my tag or whatever? And then, can I use it at the Manhattan gym? They was like, no, it's just for the gym in Jersey. And I said, well, that's inaccurate. You made it seem like I can use it at all the gyms across like New Jersey and whatever. And they was like, no, it's just New Jersey. I said, well, I want to close my account. I don't want to be. There's like, well, you have to come in. And I was like, well, I can't come into the gym because it's like far. Like I said, I never would have signed up. I said, you guys. So anyway, I was like, oh, so basically they were still charging me, which, I didn't really check. And then they sent it to a collections agency. So I had agreed to like pay it, because I was just like, this is BS, because I'm like, this is not even, I'm not even using the gym, and you guys duped me into thinking that it was one thing. So they haven't reported it yet. So I don't know what's happened to it. I don't know how long they take to send it to my credit, or if it's kind of like fallen off. So I don't know if I should call and chase them up and see what's going on with it, or
Have
just
they sent you a letter or anything?
No.
Yeah, go ahead and pay it before, because it will come onto your credit report. So go ahead and pay it.
To just pay it, okay. So just call that collections agency.
Mm-hmm.
So if I call the collections
How much
agency,
is it though?
I think it's like 200.
Yeah, pay it.
Yeah. So call the collection agency, pay them, and then
Confirm with them first that it's not on there. Just confirm though that it's not on your credit report.
right. So if it's not on my credit report, then pay it, and then they won't put it on my credit report.
Right.
If
Because
it's
that's
not,
the goal, is to stop it before, like, you know what I mean? Like, we already got stuff we're trying to work on. We don't need anything added, right? So we're trying to stop it in its tracks before they send it.
perfect. So do that.
Yep.
And then, so the personal letter you're going to send to me, so all this other credit stuff, I can do it tomorrow. Like I can start writing up the letters for the credit bureaus tomorrow.
You can write them if you want to, but don't send it. So you're going to send it after remember the personal information is first. And then remember.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. So do that first. Okay. So that gives me time to do it.
Typically is 30 days, but you should get it back before 30 days. Right?
Got it. So let that go through first.
Yeah. So it should come back first. When that comes back, the letter we just wrote together now, then that goes out.
Perfect. Sorry, I'm forgetting the steps. So you're going to send me, so what you're sending me now, the draft
goes out tomorrow or as soon as possible.
And that goes out to each of the agencies?
Yes.
So I have to change the names, like Dear TransUnion, Dear Experian, Dear...
No, I'm writing the letter for you.
Oh!
So the letter is done. The letter is done. I just needed to confirm some information. I'm going to send it to you. You print it out, you put it in an envelope, and you mail it. Don't certify it or anything. Just put a stamp on it and mail it.
Okay. No certificate. Okay, perfect.
Doesn't need so I'm sending you your first letter. So you're taken care of there. Tomorrow, freeze your credit file.
Okay.
Sage Stream, and Novus, and LexisNexis.
And so I can get all this information in the module, what you sent me, right? Yes, that's what I have to do with the okay. So.
Yes, everything is in there. I'm just giving you a walkthrough just so that you know exactly what you need to do.
Can I do this on my work computer? Because I know they definitely have a PC. Yeah, I don't know if they have a firewall.
Yeah, you have your login information. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to send you your personal information. You get that in the mail sometime this week, as soon as possible, right? You print your ID, your tax return, and whatever the third thing you're going to use, either your bank statement, your telephone bill, or your lease. Okay? You're going to send that with the letter.
I have a W-2. That's the tax return, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it has your social on it.
And then
that's in place of your social security card. Okay. Print all 3 of those. That goes with the letter I'm sending you, right? Put those 3 in the mail. Tomorrow, freeze all of your credit profiles with SageStream and Novus and LexisNexis. You could do that at work. It's just going online and call those numbers, and you're literally just using like the keypad to put in your name, and they'll send you a confirmation number. Then it's done, right?
Perfect.
All this stuff can be done in one day, right? Freeze your credit profile, right? When you have the $200, right? Sign up for the 2 secure cards. I recommend doing 2, but you got to do 2 separate applications so you can get 2 cards. Okay. So 2 secure cards at your earliest.
So it'd be $400.
Right. Because it's 2 for each. Yeah. So if you can do one now and you could do one like in another 3 weeks, 2 weeks, something like that, that's fine.
Perfect.
Okay. Give me some time to work out the rent thing to confirm about the
reporting.
Yeah. Since you send it to the other person and not the landlord. So let me figure that out. Go on Experian Boost. Report your telephone bill.
I could do that now, right?
Yep. Okay. Then
so since I have Identity IQ, do I still keep a Experian account too, or can I cancel them?
What? Oh, you have Experian now?
Well, I've had Experian.
Monitoring?
Yeah, I have all 3 of them. I just got that the other day.
Oh, okay. Well then send me your Experian login, and then I'll give you an answer.
Because can I do the boost through Identity IQ?
No, you got to do the boost through Experian Boost.
Oh, okay.
You gotta set them an account with Experian Boost.
Okay.
So it's not even the Experian website. It's called Experian Boost, where you set up the account for the.
Oh, I have to go to Experian Boost website?
Yeah. So that is in module. I'll send you the link for that too.
Because I'm sure I saw it on Experian.
Experian.com/boost. Yeah.
I'm sure I saw it on.
Yeah, Experian.com/boost. So send me your credit login for Experian, and you said you have access to all 3 reports?
Yeah, because I just added that on.
Okay. All right, send me the login for that. Perfect. Okay. So we're at step 3, 4, 4. Report your utility.
Yeah, Experience Boost. Yeah.
Yeah. So report your utility, your telephone bill with Experian Boost. Then decide between My Jewelers Club and New Coast Direct. I'm going to send you the links for that, so you can just go browse the website. Let me know what, either one or both. And then we relax. We wait to see what comes back from the credit bureaus. Then you send the letter that we just wrote today.
Got it.
Okay. Don't forget to print out 3 copies of pages 3 and 4. Send along with it. Circle it up. Highlight it, whatever you prefer, to let them know what you're disputing. Send that out with your IDs, your W-2, and your proof of address. Right? Same format.
And so I have to send my with the credit when I'm disputing the stuff in the credit.
Anytime you send a letter to the bureaus, you send all IDs, right?
Okay.
Yep. Then in 90 days, we'll see where we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think this is something I could realistically get done by the end of June?
If you get the rent reported and the utilities reported. So, okay, what do you mean by get done?
Like see a boost in my credit?
Absolutely. You'll see a boost, definitely, because if you add the 2 secure cards alone and remove those negative accounts, you'll see a boost just by doing that. So we get to add the utilities on top of that, and add the rent on top of that, and add the MJC and the New Coast Direct on top of that. No client has not seen a boost within the first 45 days.
Perfect. And
So
it's like a significant boost. It's not like 2 points.
yeah, no. I mean, unless no, so the ones who don't see a boost is if they already have credit cards open and they're all maxed out and they can't bring them down. You don't have that problem. So that's why I was saying it's easier for you. We're not in a bind where we have to remove a whole lot of negative, bring down balances, pay down this to 7%. Like, we're not there. So all we need to do is rebuild, right? Get those accounts open and then manage them responsibly.
Perfect. Okay.
So once they start to see you start making payments, they'll be like, oh, okay. Okay, she made a payment on time. Oh, she made a payment. So you're getting points for that. So definitely send me that Experian login so that I can see the FICO score. That's going to really determine, I can give you a better answer from that. Because your points, your score could be different. So I'd definitely like to see that.
And then, so sorry, for the gym, I should call them and say to them, what do I call them and say? The collection.
I'm aware that there's an account that's been sent to your company and I want to take care of it. Just wanted to confirm if it's been sent to the credit bureaus yet, and then see what they say. If it's not, pay it on the spot. And
that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
So yeah, just kind of keep me updated, just like, and it just could be like a one-line email. You don't have to be all, right? Just say, hey, apply for the secure card, or hey, did the utilities and score went to XYZ. All right. So I definitely like to see where that goes.
So if I have any questions, can I email you?
Absolutely. That's what I'm here for.
Perfect. Because I feel like I have.
If you go back and like, you're like, wait, is that the right step? Or like, what does she mean by this? Then yeah, just go ahead and ask me.
Perfect. Can I ask you another question? Do you work with stuff like that where I want to like start adding streams of income to my life? Do you help people to do that? No.
In what way though? Because I'm only versed in this arena.
Okay, I just want to, I'm just trying to, I just hate having one stream of income. So I don't know if you're like an accountant in that sense where you.
I can, like, I have a degree in it, but it's not what I focus on.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you wanted to get into this business, I could coach you and you can add this as an additional income, but I try to, so I do have a coaching program for this. But I try to stick with what I'm like 1000% good at.
But the thing about it is with me, I'm not good at maths. I'm terrible at maths. So is this something I could help people do even though I'm awful at maths?
Math has nothing to do with it.
I guess. I mean, because it's funny, as you're telling me all this stuff, I was like, I know mad people that I could. I'm not giving it now because I'm like, you have to pay me.
I'm telling you, it once you know, like, you're gonna see how much powerful you're gonna feel. You're gonna be like, that's it. Wait, that's it. Like, that's all I had to do was write these letters and like be responsible with my payments and like set up automatic payments. So like once we get the cards, we'll go over your payment strategy, right? So like the $200 card, you don't want to go over a certain amount.
Right.
So I'll teach you like what balances you should keep every month and things like that. Okay.
Once I get like my jewelers and stuff.
Right.
Perfect.
But which you won't be spending much anyway, so it won't be difficult.
Right.
Because I don't want you overextending.
Right.
Right. We're just doing the bare minimum to get the account activated to show up on your credit report. That's it. Right. Okay. Yeah. So, so we'll go over all of that. But yeah, it's not hard to teach other people. All you do is say, hey, this is the breakdown of your credit score. And like when you have time, just go through the modules and like educate yourself. You got 35% is your payment history. 30% is your credit usage. 15% is your length, your age of history. 10% is new credit. 10% is your mix. That's all you're telling people.
Right.
Like, hey, pay your bills on time. Don't go over 20%. Don't close old accounts because that shortens your history. Don't apply for too much credit, and have a mix. You want some installment loans, you want some credit cards, you want some revolving credit, some store cards, and you have a good credit score. You don't think people would listen to you?
Yeah, I just get very insecure because anytime I think of numbers or anything, I'm like, oh my God, I'm awful at math. So
yeah, no, that's the most math you're gonna hear about in this. It is no, it's not math heavy. And
Perfect.
then, I mean, you can literally be looking at a chart when you're explaining it, and the chart like has the numbers there. So if you're like
Right.
insecure about it, you just pull up the graph and you point to it, right?
Yeah. Well, there you go. Oh, like, yeah, it's like I'm teaching
Right?
myself a
And they
new
still
lesson.
think that you are educating them because you're reading the graph.
Right. Oh, okay, cool.
Right.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
I'm trying to think of what else you could do, but yeah, that's the
Because
most.
when I moved to LA, basically, I'm an entertainer, so I don't want to have a day job like how I have a day job now. So I'm looking at all different things. I'm thinking about DJing. I'm thinking
Ah,
commercial modeling. Like I'm just thinking about all the things that I'm like interested in anyway to supplement,
okay.
So I was just like, oh, but since I know I guess you were a CPA. So I was just like, I wonder if there's like, some people have like ways to maximize or like diversify your income. So you're earning like multiple streams
Right.
of income.
I like to focus on this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I do this and like business credit for like small business owners, but that's why people seek me out because I specialize in one thing. Like I'm not.
Right. And then I also have a business. I have an online business. I have my own accessories line. So,
Okay.
no.
Well, that's something we may have to explore. And that
Mm.
always happens. It's so crazy. All of the people I attract happen to be business owners.
Yeah.
Business owners.
Because
So,
I think I thought I found you through my mentor, but I don't know if I did. I don't remember now.
so what happens? That's so crazy. Like everyone focuses on their personal credit. However, when we get to talking, it's like, oh, I have a business.
Right.
So it just always works out that way. So what you can also do is focus on business credit. You probably don't want to do it right now because that's a heftier investment,
Right.
but it's quicker and more beneficial. Like you get more money, you get more funding, you get higher credit limits because I guess businesses hold more borrowing power,
Right.
right? So
So you mean like getting a business credit card?
with
Right. Because right now I just have like a business debit card.
right, and you don't have to use your personal credit to get it. So
Mm.
that's the benefit of it. So you're completely separating the two. So you're building a business credit profile that's only attached to your tax ID. It's only attached to your LLC. Like you have to be an entity to get it, right? So
Right. And I have all that. I have my LLC and stuff
see?
like that. So how much do you charge for that?
So for that, it's done for you. So if you want to do the basic package, it's $2,000. So what that does, it builds your complete credit profile. You get your business credit cards and things like that, right? If you want to get higher credit limits in a less amount of time, so that's the first one is like 6 to 9 months. The second package is our platinum package. That's 3,500, and you get higher credit limits.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of like your 2,000, your 3,000, things like that, you'll get 15, 20,000 credit limits when you're applying for your business credit. That turnaround time is 4 months and it's 3,500.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the difference. So it's really, I mean, I actually paid more when I was doing mine,
Right. All
but
right.
I'm trying to help more people.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I usually help people like in the trucking industry who need like gas cards and
Yeah.
renting and things like that, or real estate investors who's trying to get money to flip houses and things like that. But then you have your everyday business owner with different types of business who are trying to, leverage their business credit instead of tarnishing their personal credit.
Right.
So it works for any type of business.
But that's basically why I'm in such a business, because I was using a lot of my credit card for my business.
I know, and all your personal cash flow, your assets, all that. And that's where we go wrong.
Right.
So many people who come to me, their credit is shot because they were trying to finance their dream.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's because I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, don't take loans. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, let me just use, just invest, and don't get an investor. And I'm like, well, I'm still in a bind now because I've used all my personal, and now I can't even really invest as much in my business because,
exactly.
I'm trying to build my credit back.
Right. So you'll be fine. So if you can get me the Experian login like tonight or tomorrow.
Okay.
And then I'll get you those letters, the links, and mail them out this week.
Perfect. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
Me too. I was really excited about this because I'm like, so basically, I'll keep this very quick. So my friend and I were thinking about going to LA and being roommates because of, and now because of my situation, just everything, I just want to live by myself. But I was like, maybe I should try and still be a roommate because I don't know about my situation now. But I'm like, if you're saying that I can do, like, I can get all this squared away, and then like, because I just really want to live by myself. I haven't had a roommate ever, so I'm like, so that's why I'm like, I was just like, okay, maybe if I can't get this, maybe it would be sensible for me to just do it with her for the roommate. Obviously because her credit may be better than mine, but if you're saying that I can do this, just with the hard work and stuff, then
just stick with it. Stay on top of it. Like, don't waste a minute. When those letters come back, let me know so we can get right back on. And then I'm like, okay, send the ones that we worked on. And then you can start drafting them because you've already got the outline, so they can be ready, right?
Right.
So just go ahead and draft them like on your lunch break, when you're not busy, things like that. So it could be done. If we stay on it, you should be fine.
Perfect.
Okay. So I'm going to follow up with you. I'm going to send you an email with everything we talked about today, as far as, the steps and the links and everything. And just give me the Experian login so I could take a look at the differences. And then email me when you do the Experian boost. Let me see how that works.
Awesome.
Because there's no guaranteed amount of points. So I just want to see how many points you get.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.
You're welcome. I'm so happy you're here. I'm so glad to help you. As you can see, I get more excited than my clients. So.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, like having good credit is like having $1 million for me. So I'm excited.
I'm telling you, you're going to feel so different.
Yeah, like I've spent so much money in the past couple of weeks.
Right. And you're just like, for what?
Yeah, when I could have just made, I don't know, like I said, with credit, you just like, oh, like I just didn't know, like all these things. I just didn't know. So
now you're getting educated, and go through the modules. We already know your goals, but that's really like the first step I usually have people do. But when we got on the phone, we already knew what your goal was.
Right.
So as long as you're not trying to apply for anything else, like any major purchases, we're good, right? So the only thing we're going to use it for is to build. We're not applying for anything else. If anything comes up, just let me know. Some people try to be sneaky about it, and I'm like, I see it on your credit report.
You're hurting yourself, not me. Right.
I'm not trying to be bossy. I'm just saying,
just telling you what not to do. No, okay, perfect. The only thing that I'm planning to do is just the apartment, and that's not going to happen until end of June or July.
Okay, great. So let's go very, very hard. I'm going to stay on top of you. So
yes, please do. I need it.
We got to make this happen. So accountability is huge. When you have somebody who has been there and who knows what it takes and is like, hey, did the letters go out? Things like that. Did you apply for this? It makes a huge difference. So just follow the steps, follow the program, and you'll be fine.
Perfect.
Okay. I'm so happy. All right. So look out. It's a little bit past my bedtime, but I'll try to get it done.
Okay. You could do it tomorrow morning because I'm about to go to my bed too. Like my dark circles are kicking down. I'm like,
I'll get it to you tomorrow.
Tomorrow's fine, and then I can like do everything when I'm at work.
Yeah. Perfect. And then
you.
send me a follow up. Just say, hey, did this, did that.
Awesome. I'll definitely do that.
Cool.
Good night, Stephanie.
Good night. And remember, any questions, don't hesitate
to email you, right?
Yes, just email me anytime. I can always, no matter what I'm doing, like who can't email, right? Like I can always email you. So don't worry about that. I'll get to you, okay?
Thank you so much. I hope you have a great evening. Thank you.
I'll talk to you tomorrow, okay?
Bye.
Bye.
Oopsie.